Tell us about that. Tell us about you and who you are.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
amazing.
Hi. My name is Charlotte, but my artist name is Avery, which is spelled Averie. Um, yeah, I've had a long journey with music, but I have always loved music since I was younger. I started playing piano when I was like 5, but didn't have a great teacher. Um, and I always loved singing, but I didn't think I was very. So when I got a little bit older, I started taking singing lessons, but I didn't have a very nice group of friends. So I kept it from them in secret. And I had this plan that I was just going to get really good at singing and one day be able to tell everyone that I was really good at singing and they would all be blown away. So I stuck to that plan and it kind of worked. I kept doing lessons for quite a few years, but I didn't really tell anyone that I was singing until probably my second year of university. And that was because I finally got hired as a singing teacher. So the place that I worked at actually asked me if I would like to start teaching there because I suppose I was good enough by then. So I said sure, and then I thought, okay, I must be good enough to start showing this to people now. So I started posting little videos of me online, just singing and playing guitar, and people started to really like it. I found cool groups of other people in my city that also played music and wanted to collaborate. And then things kind of kicked off from there a little bit. My first proper experience with making music and performing was when a cool friend of mine called Tessa found me and we really clicked and she wanted to make some music together. So we formed a band, just a duo band. So I was the singer and then she was the drummer. And then we had some other people playing with us, like guitarists and bassists. Um, yeah, and so we just started writing music together, started performing a little bit, and it was really fun. And people seemed to quite like it. It all kicked off a little bit. We started making our first little short album with an artist called Casual Healing, who was this very cool hippie dude. Um, and it was kind of leaning towards like jazzy R&B sounds. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you will know the artists that we're inspired by, but took inspiration from a lot of different people, and that was really fun. But eventually, I was kind of feeling like I wanted to just do music on my own, and I was writing most of the songs, and I got better at it because I also didn't start writing my own songs until I was about 17 or 18. But as I kind of developed those skills, I knew that I wanted to just do it myself. And so I made the decision to leave that and just go solo. And I'm glad I did because I think I'm the kind of person that feels better just doing things by myself and like having more creative control, because songwriting can be a very um, vulnerable thing. It can be a difficult thing, and sometimes it's hard to let other people take part in your creativity. But yeah, I'm still learning how to collaborate, but I think I prefer doing it on my own for the most part. So when I did that, I started applying for what's called funding grants. And the people that run these are New Zealand On Air. They do like a lot of New Zealand's music, film, things like that. But they have funding grants for artists that are trying to make music because it can be very expensive to do so. So I applied for one of those and I got it, which was awesome and just felt so amazing. And it meant that I could put out my single, my first song, with the help of $10,000 to market it and properly record it and make a music video, which was really cool. And a lot of that stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of money. It took 3 days alone um, just to record the vocals and get them all perfect and do so many takes of all the same lines. But it's a very fun process and took a few months to finish off the song. And then, yeah, it all came together. Had a music video, which was fun to make. there were like 7 people on the set of it, and I wouldn't have been able to afford that otherwise, but it was all cool. There was like a smoke machine and crazy cameras and lighting that made you feel so warm. It was hard to film, but it was super exciting. And so I filmed that and put everything out, and it went pretty well. I managed to get a place on the NZ Hot Singles charts, which was pretty cool. And I got a mention in the Rolling Stone magazine and a few other cool media articles. So that was really nice. And I had by then the support of a manager who kind of just helped me learn how to navigate all of the fancy things that go into releasing music. But before then, it was really difficult because I was just doing it all by myself, and I was only 21, and I was trying to send emails and understand different industries. But my manager helped me figure it out after then. And yeah, things went really well. And now I'm where I am today. I got another one of those funding grants, and I'm going to make another song that I've been working on up in Auckland. And I'm going to Auckland next week to do some more writing with some really cool artists like Stan Walker and Chai and a few others. So that'll be really fun. And it's kind of just once you get your foot in the door, I find that New Zealand is really supportive, and other musicians in New Zealand always want to connect and to work with you and to kind of help each other. And yeah, once you start and you put a lot into it, there will be people that will support you emotionally and with money, and you can really start creating more and more. So I'm kind of on that path now where I want to this year put out a lot more songs, make some more music videos, and yeah. Now, someone asked what's it called. The song is called Just Before You Go, and again, it's under my name, Averie, spelled Averie, and you can listen to that anywhere on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen. Yeah.
Amazing. So that whole song with the video, etc., cost $10,000.
Yes,
Right?
and you would have no idea where that money would go to. Half of it goes toward the music video because all of the crew are so expensive to pay. Someone else, can you listen to it on YouTube Music? Yes, it's there. But yeah, it's also like hard for people in music and in film and different creative areas to get paid well for what we do. So having $10,000 means that I can pay everyone fairly that is involved with helping, and it means that people in film, people in music are able to do that full time and make enough money for all of their talents. Yeah.
Amazing. I had no idea that was so costly. So if you have questions, folks, pop them in the chat. That would be amazing. I just want to go back to you learning. You said you started with piano.
Mm-hmm.
Did it go from there? So did you just learn piano, or piano then guitar, or like what? Tell us about that kind of learning journey to begin with, and how that grows from there to $10,000 on a music video.
Yeah,
Scratch
for
that,
sure.
right?
Just briefly, someone asked how many songs have you written? I've written quite a few. I haven't finished a ton yet, but I have about 2 that are ready to come out at the moment. But I'm trying to write more and more. Sometimes I'm a very lazy writer and I don't do it a lot, but every time I go to Auckland, I try to do more writing. Anyway, back to your question. Yeah, I started piano when I was 5, and I kind of dabbled sometimes in other instruments, not too much. But I was always exposed to music a lot. My family loved karaoke and I loved singing. And if you asked me when I was in primary school what my dream would be, it would be to be a singer. Like I did my class projects on I want to be a singer one day. But then I realized that you actually had to sing to do that. So I gave up that dream. But then I came back to it. Yeah, like I said, when I was 15, that's also when I started doing guitar. I did singing guitar at 15, and I just thought, I want to really try. I feel like if I practiced, I could get better at it. And I think that's really important because a lot of the time people think singing is something that is just a natural talent, and amazing singers are just born amazing singers. But I don't think that's true. I used to sound really bad, and now I train the same way that opera singers train. Not necessarily that I sing opera, but it means that I can sing a lot better, and I can sing pop songs really well. I can sing jazz music, and it just opened up a lot of possibility. Yeah.
Amazing. Singing is a surprisingly technical thing to do, right? It's a lot about muscle control and breathing and shape of your mouth and all of that stuff. And yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. A lot of people think you just open your mouth and sing, but you can. Everyone can. Whether it sounds good or not is a
Yeah.
whole other thing, right? Yeah, it is. It's fantastic that you are all creating music. So let's think about our kids as music creators. When did you start putting things like creating your own songs or even like little bits of songs, and what happens as someone is writing a song, for instance?
Yeah, so everyone has a bit of a different process. A lot of people like writing a song just with an instrument, like a guitar or a piano. I don't actually prefer to write that way, and how I started piecing my songs together was on um, music software. And if any of you have heard of them, some of them are called Logic or Ableton, or there are a lot of free, simple ones like GarageBand. And they're really great to just start experimenting with putting together a little more of the song. My favorite thing to do when I started and still now was to just layer up harmonies on top of myself. So I'll sing the lead line of a vocal, and then I'll sing more of the harmonies on top. And when I practiced that for a while, it became a lot easier to come up with cool harmonies, with more interesting harmonies. I would end up just making a whole track like of just or a whole choir of just my voice on free softwares, because the software is hard to navigate, but um, when you use your voice as an instrument, it's the easiest creative instrument that you can have, because you can just sing what you're envisioning, even if you can't quite play that out on a different instrument. So it's great to experiment that way. A lot of big artists these days also write that way. I know Ariana Grande does that because I used to be very inspired by her. Billie Eilish also does lots of harmonies and vocal stacks. We call them vocal stacks as you stack them on top of each other. But yeah, so I usually just start with little melody lines or a song I've written, and then I stack those harmonies on top and maybe some drums. And yeah, someone said, how do you come up with your lyrics? Do melody, beats, or lyrics come first? Usually, what I find is I like to write to rhythms. Um, and either you can find beats that people make on YouTube, or what I do is I work with producers, and they do all of the stuff on the computer, making the instrumental, adding all the other instruments, and we work side by side. I'll do some of the writing and the singing and also some of the producing, but for the most part, they'll come up with the instrumentals, because it is a bigger job than just the songwriter's job. And yeah, I get to work with them while they come up with that. And so I kind of write to the drum beat or to the bass line that they come up with. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And Isabel, whose screen name there is Fiona, but that's actually Isabel, has some guitar solo stuff. I once saw Ed Sheeran play on his own with a guitar and a loop, and then
Mm,
all he did for the whole time was loop his voice and guitar bits over and over,
hmm.
which I thought was incredibly clever and just incredible way that brain works that adds those layers and layers and layers. I think often when we're listening to songs, because all the layers feel together, it's quite hard to understand how they might be unpacked. Are there
Mm.
things that can you kind of reverse engineer a song by unlayering it? Is that a thing that people do? Can you make sense of what I'm asking?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. I would say two ways to think about trying to understand a
Mm.
song in that way is um, just practicing listening really well, active listening, because when you hear a song and you go, I love the song, it's hard to understand why you really like the song.
Mm.
But you get used to listening more and more to, okay, I can actually hear those harmonies. That's why this sounds really cool. Or actually, like, if I'm listening through good headphones, I can hear a bass line in there that sounds really funky. That's what makes it sound more interesting. So, active listening is a really good skill that helps you to copy other songs or just take ideas from other songs. It's definitely like a big way that I take inspiration. The other thing would be some songs or some singers have actually released versions of their songs where they unpack all the layers. So Billie Eilish
Mm.
is really into how her songs are made, and one of her biggest songs, or her first songs, Ocean Eyes. You can look on YouTube and you can find people having all of the tracks and stacks from that song and breaking them down. And it's really cool because you can see all of the bad takes she did. You can hear the drums, you can hear the piano, you can hear everything. And it's really good to take away from things like that because you can be like, okay, she has this vibe that feels like an ocean, but I don't know how to have that oceany vibe. And then you see in that video, it's like, oh, it's this keyboard thing that she did. I could try that in my music, you know?
Amazing. That sounds so cool. That unpacking and repacking, taking it
Mm.
apart, even just through listening. Yeah, amazing. Billie Eilish's story as a young person is also so fascinating, right? It's
Yeah.
quite a journey. So awesome stuff. Okay, go back to learning to sing and singing, and you didn't want to tell anyone about it for
Yeah.
quite a while. Talk us through that a little. She
It's a
snapped.
really scary and vulnerable thing to learn singing. Like other instruments, people accept that they take time to learn and that you aren't going to be good at them straight away. But people don't understand that with singing as much. And yeah, I was afraid to be bad at it because I was bad at it at the start, but that was okay. I think the reason I didn't tell people was just also because, yeah, I didn't have a nice group of friends at the time. And when you are in school, even if you're at primary school or high school, it can be really difficult to worry what people think of you or, what are they going to think of me trying a new thing? It's hard to try new things, but um, I teach singing now and I teach guitar, and I've never had a student that has not gotten better from learning. And I've had some people that have started off like apart from Grace, just because she never practiced and did about 4 lessons before she quit. um, but anyway, people that have stuck with it, and I've had some students that have stuck with it for a couple years. Even the ones that really struggle at the start, they get a lot better. And it doesn't matter what age you start. I think it was really good for me to start at 15 because I was interested in it. Like I thought it was a little too late at a point, but it really wasn't. I was still able to
Mm.
pick it up. But most of my students that I teach now are like older than me. They're in their late 20s or early 30s. I've taught people that are as old as 80 years old, and it's never too late to start. It's just like learning an instrument or learning a sport because it's muscles after all.
Mm.
So you just get better at it and your muscles memorize how to make better sounds. And yeah, you can undoubtedly get better, but also you don't have to be amazing at singing these days to make music. I can sing a lot better now than I could when I started performing. And it's really great that these days people value songwriting and creativity more than they do just having a crazy voice, because 10 or 20 years ago it used to be the big thing to be able to sing huge, like be on a big singing show and sing like Adele. But these days it's good because you could have a really soft voice, and a really sweet voice, but if your lyrics are really clever and really really relatable to people, then that's what people like more, and you can reach a farther audience if you like have art as an artist more than just try to be impressive, you know?
Amazing. That's so cool. I heard, and I'm not sure if it's true, that Adele, because of her particular style of singing, actually damaged her vocal cords and had to
Yeah.
for quite some time. Yeah. So,
Yeah, a lot of singers don't sing with good technique. This is the thing people don't realize. So many singers, even the really good ones, they are singing in ways that aren't healthy. Like vocal health is really important when you are singing, and it's better, if you're singing in a worse way or in a quieter way and you can sing less, but you're doing it healthily. So sometimes when people are singing really big or with a specific kind of rasp, it's actually not very healthy. So if you do learn, it can be good to take a route with someone who does a really healthy vocal training.
amazing. Grace, you have a question. Jump in.
Well, I was thinking before the session ends that maybe we could screen share Shah's music video, because it is seriously cool. And also, I mentioned the chat before, I don't know if anyone saw, but her song was genuinely my number one song of 2024 on Spotify. It was my most played song. I genuinely really like it. We know quite a few musical kind of people in Wellington, but Shah is one that I love. So.
Super cool. Yes, Abby, I did some piano lessons and stopped because my hands hurt too much. Isabel, your guitar teacher is in Japan. Oh, living in the interwebby world is an amazing thing, isn't it?
People in Japan can play guitar very well, I find.
He's in Clap Clap Riot, and he played for Georgia Lions.
Is his name Sam?
No.
Oh.
His name's Dave Rowlands.
Oh, I haven't heard of him.
With the long hair.
Yeah. Sounds like most guitarists I know.
Amazing. All right. Any last minute questions? And then Grace is going to show us this amazing song. Amazing. And when you watch, just think $10,000 in a lot of time. Like, it's amazing. That's a massive investment, and incredible that you're funded for that. That's an amazing achievement. All right.
My biggest tip for your first music video is don't have a fake actor boyfriend, because it can be really awkward and not fun to do with an actor boyfriend that you're pretending to be in love with. So you can take that from this music video.
Excellent tip. No fake boyfriends. Very cool. All right, give it a crack, Grace. Let's see if it's going to work. It should do. Might just need.
I like the feeling of your hands, those fingertips against my skin. Mind if I take it for a dance? Mind if I go and let them in? I love the feeling of your lips, the way you brush them on my cheek. Babe, won't you drag it down a party? Please, the way you kiss me tastes so sweet. Because every time I think about you, got me thinking about you. Can't stop wondering how you pass me by. Just let me tell you something. I wanna go to where they play Bossa Nova, where they dance real slow. I got a feeling you should come over. Let's start with a kiss on my nose. We could go all night, we could take it slow. You don't have to talk about it, even as you know, but just before you go. I'll tell you now, I crave the feeling of your touch, but it's your smile that makes me awake. Stuck in the rhythm of your laugh. Now it's a feeling that I'll keep. I love the sounds in the room and all the words we never speak. I love the scent of your perfume. play bossa nova when they dance real slow. I got a feeling you should come over. Start with a kiss on my nose. We could go all night, or you could take us slow. We don't have to talk about it, you don't have to just before you go. Mind if I take him for a dance? Mind if I go and let them
Oh, gorgeous. See, the red hair gave me a minute as well to connect those dots. Abby, jump in.
I just want to say that's absolutely amazing. I love that. I'm definitely going to add that song to my playlist. I love it.
Thank you, Abby.
And
I'm
all
very
your other ones if I could find them.
None others out yet, but give us a few months and there will be more.
Yeah, I will.
Gorgeous. And the fake boyfriend, you two pulled it off. It didn't look fake. Awesome stuff. All right, folks, any last minute questions for Charlotte? Make sure you look up that song again. Go, Nina.
When did you put out the song?
I put it out in May of last year.
Amazing. Great question. And do you have a time frame for your next one? Or is it open time frame?
Yeah, it's nearly finished, but the worst thing about the music industry is that people take a long time to do things. So I'm here ready to go, and then you've got to wait on a producer, a manager, a music video director, a cast to be ready to do the next thing. And yeah, people are never ready. So it'll be a few months. But for example, I finished that song 6 months before it came out, which is frustrating. But I'm getting better at hustling people along, I think.
Go you. Abby, do you have another question? We got you, Abby? Is that no? All good. Okay, next song is called Honeycomb. We can watch out. All right. Amazing. All right, time for a huge emoji spam. Say thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey and that advice. Absolutely amazing. Fantastic. Oh, Abby, you're back. Did you have another question, love?
Sorry, I glitched out for a second. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I glitched out for a second. What's some advice for other song
Top
can't
advice.
put this into words.
Anything in
For new singers,
singers.
next generation of singers.
Try to. Okay, there's so many pieces of advice I could give. Feel free at any time to find me on socials and ask me anything. But the one piece of advice I would give for more so people as artists rather than just singers is to develop a strong image. Know what your style is, know what your sound is, know what you like. And I think that takes people very far, because sometimes people write songs and they're like, there we go, there it is. But if you know, okay, I have this distinct voice. Like that's going to take me far. And I think this hairstyle goes well with that voice, and this color clothing, you know, that's what makes the biggest stars these days, I think.
Oh, good. That's great advice. That knowing your voice, knowing who you are, and getting it out there, amazing. All right, awesome stuff. Thank you so much for joining us. Just amazing, and good luck getting the logistics and doing all the wrangling that's needed for number 2 song coming out soon. Agree, Abby. Awesome stuff. All right, folks, if you are coming at 4:30, it's just an open chat. We can carry on some Harry Potter jamming or Greek mythology or whatever works for us, just to chat. All right, folks, bye-bye. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.